I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I'm not sure. Am I good? Am I good? I think I'm good, y'all. Alright, y'all, let's get the show started. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild, and I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. This is episode 258. It's a lot of episodes, and I couldn't have done it without y'all support. So, again, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. Much love, much love, much love. And a big shout out to the chat. The chat is in here early and showing major, major love. Again, thank you. Uh, the presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Excuse. Also, want to thank OUV Records as well, another sponsor of the podcast as well. Also, again, do not forget to hit and tap into those memberships. Take advantage. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 13. So, again, hit that like, subscribe, share button, hit that all notification bell. And remember, y'all, continue to show major, major love. I drop videos daily. And I'm seeing the engagements go up even more on those videos. I've been seeing y'all comments, liking, and loving them. So, again, I want to thank y'all for your support, and it means the world to me. Also, I'm forgetting what else we got on the agenda. Again, y'all, do not be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain. Do not try to stand out by being negative. Have the ability to stand out by being positive. Lose that Willie Lynch mindset. Lose that it can only be one mindset. The only op we recognize over here is opportunity. We celebrate life culture over here. So remember, y'all, show major, major love. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but with no further ado, man, let's get the show started. Shout out to the chat real quick. I'm seeing the chat in here early. Show major, major love. Shout out to Tremont in the building. Shout out to King P all day, yo. Party people. Shout out to Winter, the loyal crew. Appreciate that. And again, shout out to King P, one of our longest standing badge holders. Had his badge for over 2 years, so appreciate that as well. Shout out to Alana in the building. Hey, y'all, back in time. Just finished watching the Michael Jackson movie. Appreciate you tapping and making it back in time. Shout out to Hazel. The movie was decent, but mid at best. Ooh, y'all on Michael Jackson, the movie ass right now. Shout out to Winter, MJ still the GOAT. Shout out to Shay. Hey, y'all don't forget. Okay, so she's saying just to show love to the show. And shout out to Ebony in the building. Again, appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. With no further ado, let's get the show started. First segment of the night. Popular opinions. Y'all remember, y'all, these are not my questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. I want to thank OUV Records again. Make sure you go to Instagram and stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. The label model is create, document, and inspire. So again, make sure y'all tap in. All right, y'all. First question of the night. Popular opinion, y'all. Question. Best time to buy a car. Best time to buy a car. Number 1, holidays. Number 2, the last 3 days of the month. Number 3, the beginning of the month. Number 4, summer months. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Question is, best time to buy your car on this list. Number 1, holidays. Number 2, the last 3 days of the month. Number 3, the beginning of the month. Number 4, summer months. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. 81,000 people voted on this, so let me know what y'all think about this in the chat. All right, I'm on live, so yeah, you gotta scram. People always call you when you get on live, right? Like, yeah, yo, I'm on live, tap in. All right, so me personally, from what I know about cars, and I have my share of cars. I don't own all the cars. I drive one car. I'm not rich where I have like 80 million cars somewhere. No, that's not the case. But in Florida, people normally typically have about like 3 cars. They have their everyday car, then they have a car called something called the Dunk, where they, basically put, fix the car up. They look like toy cars, but they actually really nice looking once they fix them up. And then people will normally keep like some sort of like motorcycle, moped, some sort of thing like apparatus like that, right? But me personally, for what I know about cars, I was told, the best time to get a car is always at the beginning of the month. I was told that years ago. So I'm going to say the beginning of the month. In the chat, I'm seeing number 3, they saying beginning of the month. And I'm also seeing number 2, the last 3 days of the month. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat if you haven't casted your vote. Again, hit them likes, hit them 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. And it's the Kenner Brothers Get a Rap podcast. So again, I went with the beginning of the month. The chat was beginning of the month and the last 3 days of the month. 81,000 people voted on this. 45% went with number 1, the holidays. They saying the holidays is the best time to buy a vehicle from the chat. That's what the chat is saying. Excuse me, not the chat. That's what the rest of the world is saying. But the actual answer is the last 3 days of the month is the best time to buy a vehicle, where they're going to throw you all types of deals. They trying to get rid of the car. It's like, hey, yo, we ain't make a sale all month. Hey, yo, take this baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's, I knew I was missing the light. That's what they say is the best time is actually to buy a vehicle. All right, y'all, moving on to our next question on this list. Moving on to our next question on this list. Sorry about that, y'all. There's something wrong with my light. But moving on. Yeah, so next question on this list. Best movie school on this list. Best movie school on this list. Number 1, South Harmon Institute, the Accepted movie. Number 2, St. Francis Prep, Sister Act 2. Number 3, Eastside High, Lean on Me. Number 4, Ridgemont, Fast Times, In. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Best movie school on this list. Number 1, South Harmon Institute, the movie Accepted. Number 2, St. Francis Prep, Sister Act 2. Number 3, Eastside High, Lean on Me, the Lean on Me movie. And number 4, Ridgemont in the movie Fast Times In. I can't say the because it's going to sound redundant. So, again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. And if this is your first time tapping in, I'm Ashley Lovechild. And again, I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. It means the world to me. This is our 258th episode. And we talk about everything here. We talk about music, sports, social media, entertainment. We talk about everything here. You've seen the chat talking. So again, make sure y'all continue to show that love. All right, y'all. So in the chat, I'm seeing Accepted, which is number 1, South Harmon Institute. And I'm also seeing Lean on Me. Y'all going with Lean on Me? You remember how rough Lean on Me was? The school Lean on Me with Joe Clark in the beginning? That school was rough. So me personally, I'm going to go with South Harmon Institute. If you know, you know. If you ever seen the Accepted movie where they started their own school, it was popping. Like, they were just doing their own thing. The dorms everybody was doing their own thing, and the school was super fire, in my opinion. So again, in the chat, I saw St. Francis Prep, and then I also seen Eastside High and Lean on Me. The rest of the world, 66,000 people voted on this. 39% overwhelmingly went with South Harmon Institute of Tech, the movie Accepted. Again, if you know, you know. If you've ever seen the movie Accepted, where the kid creates creates a fake school because he was embarrassed to tell his father that, yo, I didn't get accepted nowhere. So he had his boy create a fake acceptance letter, and he had to create like a website, the whole 9 yards, and then like a whole bunch of people was like one click away from getting accepted on the first day of school. They had to fake like a location, all that. They went all out. And then all these kids pull up. Everybody got their tuition money, $10,000 a pop, and it's like 10,000 kids. So the school was they made the school popular. So I concur with the rest of the world regarding that. But some of these schools was alright. Like Ridgemont High was a wild school. St. Francis Prep and Sister Act 2, that was a rundown school. They was literally about to shut the school down, right? And then Eastside High is run down, yo. like people was getting beat up, stripped, pregnant, all of that in the school. Like, so that is crazy. Alright, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Our barbershop segment of the episode. This is Barbershop Talk. So my barbershop talk for this episode is, well, shout out to my dog Tom, man. Appreciate my dog Tom for tapping in. Ashley and chat family, respect. Happy Sunday, blessings. Appreciate you, my brother, for tapping in. And again, don't forget to hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. Appreciate my dog for tapping in, man. Alright, so our barbershop talk for this episode is, this was the big barbershop talk as of yesterday. Keep it music. Keep it music. That was the barbershop talk. The reason why we say keep it music is that legendary group Bone Thugs and Harmony, the member Lazy Bone had dropped a diss record against Finesse 2 Times, and it's called Bitch Sit Your Ass Down. And the song is fire. Mind you, we've only got like a solid verse and a hook. Everybody and their mother's been looking for this song. The song is going crazy. Now, mind you, Finesse 2 Times had a song against, I believe it was Crazy Bone, and now Lazy Bone is stepping in, and the song slapping. But the reason why we say keep it music, I remember, Finesse 2 Times said something to the effect of, if he get into a fight and he hit a dude and the dude hit him back, where it's so hard, he no longer want to fight. He gonna go get his gun, which is a soft move, by the way. But let's keep this thing music. No matter what they say on wax, whether somebody's gonna win and somebody gonna lose, keep it on wax. That's the beauty of hip hop, right? You got a beef, you settle it on wax, and it is what it is. Y'all could both make some money, get attention. Y'all could do some shows, and everybody's a winner, right? So let's keep this on wax, because too many times before, when these diss and they drop these records, it gets out of hand. It's like, now when I see you, I'm going to put feats on you. I'm going to put a gun on you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It's going to do something to lead to criminal charges, going to jail, promoting more jail culture. So, but as far as the art is concerned, Lazy Bone dropped a fire diss record. It is absolutely fire. And I ain't going to hold you, I kind of wasn't expecting that from him, even though he's a great legendary artist. He's a great legendary rapper, a part of a great legendary group, Bone Thugs and Harmony. But I wasn't expecting that record in 2026. I'm not gonna lie, and it's a great song from what I've heard so far. Just being great. What adds to it is that I wasn't expecting it, but hearing his talent, hearing the polish, hearing that legendary style. If I'm Finesse, I'm getting back in that booth. I can't go out like that. He hit you with Mike Tyson haymakers. So me personally, hey man, it's a fire song, and barbershop talk was keep it on wax. Keep it music. So that is my barbershop talk for this episode. Alright, y'all, moving on to our next segment, our must-see segment. I'm going to give y'all 3 must fire movies to tap into. My 3 Eddie Murphy Awards. That's what I call these movies, Eddie Murphy Awards, because Eddie Murphy is the GOAT when it comes to this whole acting thing in my eyes. So my first Eddie Murphy Award goes to the movie. Came out in 1992. This movie cast Alex Burrell, Angela Bassett, Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, Jason Weaver, Wiley Draper, Vanessa Williams, Billy D. Williams, and Terrence Howard. This movie is called An American Dream, The Jacksons. Fire, must see movie. How can you be a fan of Michael Jackson if you've never seen this movie? How can you be a fan of Michael Jackson if you've never seen this movie? This movie right here is still the pinnacle of the Michael Jackson movies, This is the pinnacle. Fire, must-see movie. If you haven't watched it before, it's about the Jacksons and, of course, Michael Jackson. And is available for free right now on YouTube. You can check that out on YouTube. It is such a fire movie to tap into. Not right now, but, obviously, when, I finish. But, again, it's a fire movie, biopic, and it shows the complexity of growing up in Gary, Indiana, the cause and effect of forming the Jackson 5, and what turned Michael Jackson into that beast of a great artist, one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time. And this is the pinnacle. So make sure y'all tap into An American Dream, The Jacksons. Second Eddie Murphy Award goes to a movie that came out in 1998, directed by Dan Rosen. This movie stars Matthew Lillard. Michael Verton, Kerry Russell, Randall Batnell, and Dana Delaney. This movie is called The Curve. Fire must-see movie. This is about college friends at a school, and they need a little help watching the rest of the movie. Again, I won't spoil it for y'all. So again, make sure y'all tap into the movie called The Curve. Third and final Eddie Murphy Award goes to a show. This is a show. It's only one season, but this is fire. It came out in 1989. The stars is Richard Grieco, Katie Rich, Marcia Stressman, and Carmen. Not a man, not a woman, but Carmine. Right, Carmine Argenzo. This show is called Booker. Fire must-see show. This is basically a spinoff of the 21 Jump Street, and you have to see the rest of the season. It's fire. I won't ruin it for y'all. So again, my 3 Eddie Murphy Award movies that you must see is, again, American Dream, The Jacksons, The Curve, and the show Booker. You can catch the Booker on Tubi. You can catch The Curve, I believe, on YouTube or Tubi as well. And you can catch American Dream, The Jacksons on Tubi as well. Fire must-see movies and shows. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment, our Michael Jackson Awards. I'm going to give out 3 Michael Jackson Awards to 3 fire songs by a profile artist. Y'all know how I do. Whether it's new or old, whether it's hip-hop and R&B, I'm going to give y'all some of that heat. So my profile artist for tonight is, their name is a bit unusual, but this is their actual name. Trillini, like Mussolini, Trillini. All right, R&B singer, beautiful woman, might I add, but she went by Trillini. My first Michael Jackson Award goes to the song Tell Me Baby. My second Michael Jackson Award goes to her song Follow My Heart. And the third Michael Jackson Award goes to Together Forever. So again, make sure y'all tap into Trillini in those 3 songs. Again, Tell Me Baby, Follow My Heart, and Together Forever. So make sure y'all tap into that music. Some of the songs was actually on the Above the Rim soundtrack. And I did some digging. I was like, yo, this artist is super fire. So make sure y'all tap in to Trellini in those 3 songs. Shout out to my dog Tom. Shout out to Fair Eastside. Hey man, Fair Eastside, you know what I mean? Fair Eastside, you know. And for those who don't know, you know what I'm saying? That's the movie from Lean On Me when we asked the question earlier about what was the best school, you know what I mean? Fair Eastside, you know what I mean? Gotta know the song, the school song on command. Just be ready, you know what I mean? Alright, so moving on to our next segment. Y'all already know we're about to book them flights. Send them to Turkey or nah. Send them to Turkey or nah. Y'all know the rules of the game. You type in T to send it to Turkey, or you type in N not to send it to Turkey. Again, let me know what y'all think in the chitter chat. Alright, first one of the night. A 27-year-old woman arrested after locking a pizza delivery man inside her home for movie night. The driver was left unharmed, but they was able to get him out the home safely. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we sending this woman to Turkey or not? Are we sending this woman to Turkey or not? Again, a 27-year-old woman arrested after locking a pizza delivery driver inside her home for movie night. Again, the driver was left unharmed, but she was arrested. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, come on, man. Like this is crazy. This is crazy. I gotta send her to Turkey all the way. Me personally, like who does something like that for movie night? That's her rationale. She gonna get pizza and some company. Won't you call somebody, boo? You don't have nobody in your phone. We live in a world where people could go outside and meet people. People can meet people on the internet, on social media. Damn, is it like that where you have to lock somebody into your home? That's very crazy. Mind you, if this was a dude that did this to a woman, they would have put this man under the jail. So, hey, man, one favor deserves another. Put her under the jail. Because who knows? Instead of next time doing that to a grown man, she might try to do that to somebody younger than her that she could control. So, me personally, I gotta send her to Turkey. This is crazy. This is crazy talk right here. Like, if you need that type of attention, go out and meet somebody. You're a lady. It's not that hard. You could go anywhere, smile at a dude, and 9 times out of 10, if you're a decent looking woman, you're gonna get some company. It's not that hard for y'all ladies. Most women don't even have to be cute. So at the end of the day, this right here is crazy. This is crazy right here. So again, I gotta send her to Turkey all the way. Shout out to my dog CC in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in, my brother Ash. You already know, man. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. But I would love to know what y'all think in the chat. Again, a 27-year-old woman arrested after locking a pizza delivery man inside her home for movie night. She like, yo, this pizza ain't enough, bro. I need pizza and you in this movie. And we're going to have us a good time. And you know what type of night that is. Normally, when you got pizza in the movie, pizza in the movie end up watching you, if you know what I'm talking about, right? So I got to send this lady to Turkey. This is a man you don't know. You like the way he look at you, like, and as a pizza delivery guy, he has to heed some accountability. How do you go from outside her home to inside her home, bro? We live in a day and age with people, and I hate this when they do this. If you have DoorDash or some sort of delivery, if it's paid for, they won't hesitate leaving it at your door. Like it's not ants on the floor or something like that. They have no problem leaving stuff at your door. So how do you get from knocking on the door for being inside her apartment or her home and she lock you in? Like how do that even happen? You gotta hold some accountability too. Like you a dude, you could have overpowered her. I can understand if you would have had that you could have, went to jail or whatever the case may be, but how do you end up inside her home, bro? So he got to hold some accountability for that as well. Ash, come on, fam. He had it coming. He forgot the he forgot the Parmesan cheese and the pepper. She was like, "I'm teaching you a lesson, so next time you won't forget." Yeah, bro, like I like I ain't never been a delivery dude. You know what I'm saying? Well, in the matter of speaking, you know what I mean. But it's pizza. You know what I'm saying? You Nah, man, I take that bread right here. You know what I'm saying? He went inside because he was kind of curious. And once he got inside, they realized what was going on. Like, yo, you better let me up out of here. I'm going to call the cops on you. So this is crazy right here. At the end of the day, this is crazy. This is toxic. And she needs to go to Turkey. And so do he, because there's no way you go from outside to inside the home. All right, y'all, moving on to our next one. Send them to Turkey or no. Send them to Turkey or no. And again, y'all hit them 100s, hit them hearts. It helps with the growth of the show. Artist Ray J says that Kim Kardashian mother, Kris Jenner, made them do the sex tapes. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I would love to know what y'all think. Again, artist Ray J says that Kim Kardashian mother, Kris Jenner, made them do the sex tapes. So again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, y'all know the rules. Type in T to send it to Turkey, or type it in not to send it to Turkey as far as Kris Jenner. So let me know what y'all think. Me personally, I gotta send the mother to Turkey. Gotta send her to Turkey. And real talk, like, I believe him. Isn't that like kind of scary? Like, I believe Ray J. I believe him in some sort of way, because you got to remember when they first came out, as far as them as individuals, the Kardashians, they came out through their dad. Their dad was known for being one of the lawyers on O.J. Simpson's case, right? Now, he passes away, rest in peace, and now his daughters is making a way in this world on their own way, on their own volition. They become some sort of wardrobe people behind the scenes, where they help buy wardrobe for on-camera work. So basically, that's what they was doing. Remember, Ray J was on the Brandy show, and that's how they connected. Ray J meets Kim Kardashian, working background. They fall in love. Their moms was kind of cool, and she said, Ray J said, she's the one that connected the dots as far as them getting those sex tapes sold. Him having these people in his phone and know them by name. And this was connected by her. So, again, in the chat, I'm saying y'all sending this to Turkey. I'm saying Turkey, her is a weirdo. Okay, shout out to Ebony in the building. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, this right here, I actually believe, because this is their way up. Kris Jenner, I can believe that she's seen a way in as far as understanding how attention work at that time, because social media and the internet was a booming thing at the time, and it was still kind of new, where people was blowing up from that. It's websites and all these different things, and that in itself secured the brand name. It made it sexy, it made it dangerous, it made it risque, and it made them open for business. And then that led to them having a store, and and then the Kardashian show. It became an interest piece, and the show has been on for the last 15 to 20 years. The Kardashian show has been on for a while now. So look at how they leverage that. So I actually believe Ray J when he says that, hey, she's the one that told him to do the sex tapes. I really do believe that. He said that she will watch him and basically, I gotta do that again. It gotta be sexier. I actually believe that. So in the chat, They saying send her to Turkey. I'm gonna say send her to Turkey. This is crazy. Now, mind you, again, I have to throw this caveat in here. If it wasn't her mom, let's say her dad told Ray J, yeah, man, you need to do sex tapes. They would call that father a creep. He needs to go to jail. He needs to everything under the sun that's negative. But because his mom is like cool, nobody says anything. Nobody like brings no type of awareness on how weird this is for a mom to basically curate her daughter's sex tape with her boyfriend at the time. You can't even look at her boyfriend the same anymore after you done seen the man naked. So I'm surprised that there's not any higher level of backlash regarding this statement alone. Just the implication alone is damaging. So I gotta send her to Turkey all the way, me personally. Alright, y'all, moving on to our next segment. It's about that time. You already know what it is. It is time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. First hot topic of the night in Time to Rap. Jocelyn Hernandez has gone live with explosive claims about Lemmy Plummer from the Zeus Network, alleging him having some sort of DV situations with his exes, and basically accusing him of trying to unalive her while she's pregnant. She's also pregnant right now, and she's making claims that he tried to unalive her as well. Since then, Lemmy Plummer has also responded and denies all claims, including another claim that she also made, saying that he SA traffics women, and he denies SA traffics women on that as well. So again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I would love to know what your views and how y'all feel regarding what Jocelyn Hernandez said. Let me know in the chat. Again, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. And if this is your first time tapping in, I'm Ashley Lovechild, and this is Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. Me personally, I think this is a lot of miscommunication. Like, let's keep it real. Lemmy Plummer is not the most... he's not the... Like, he doesn't come off as a scary guy. And some people say, you never could judge... you can never judge a book by its cover. Very true. But he doesn't come off as an intimidating factor. He doesn't have an intimidating presence. He may have a business presence, but not an intimidating one where he's going to do physical damage to either man or woman. Now, that doesn't mean he couldn't have made these claims. He very well could have made these claims, but let's take into account that Jocelyn is also pregnant. Emotions could be running high. He could have said something and she may have took it as one thing and he really meant the other thing. Also, she is married. So I would believe that her husband, if she was threatened, would give this man a call. Will pull up on this man. Like, hey, yo, I don't know what you spoke with my wife, but something have seemed to get out of hand. And just be clear, y'all having a disagreement is one thing. You threatening her physical body is another. So you're going to have hell on your hands if this is true. So with those type of protocols, something here is not adding up. Somebody lying, or somebody is really agitating the story and trying to get clicks and views. So me personally, it's hard to tell because they are in the... Hey, it's the clicks business. It's the sell the show business, right? They had quite a few shows together. It's about getting these views. Views equal money, and all that, right? So it's hard to tell who's lying and who's being like very truthful. But I have to look at the dualities of both of them in both situations. Shout out to the chat. I would love to see what the chat is thinking about that. Shout out to my dog Tom, Ashley, about to bless. Appreciate you for tapping in my dog Tom, man. That's my dog Tom. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, because of again her being married, he has an image to uphold as well as somebody as a network leader or owner or the CEO. And again, not to say that he couldn't have said it, but you also need something called proof on both sides. So either way, at this point in time, is he said, she said. He denies claims and she alleged claims. But again, her having a husband, I would be remiss to believe that he would make the call. Like, hey yo, whatever negotiations, whatever business dealings, keep it business talk. But anything outside of that, when you talk about threatening, harming, that takes on a whole nother level. And because she has that, in my opinion, did he really make these threats? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so me personally, and this is towards her. Now, could he have made these threats to somebody else in his life? Could have, but that's not what's being alleged. That's not what's being, these people that you're saying, they not coming out and saying this and alleging these things. So, hey, we got to give the benefit of the doubt. Until people speak up, it's he said versus she said, because there is no proof. Shout out to my dog, Ruin 12 in the building. You already know, one of my day ones in the building. One of our mods in the building. So make sure y'all talk to me nice, because I do get them crazy ones come out the woodwork and say the craziest things in the chat. But again, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. And again, show that energy and love in the chat, man. Continue to engage. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion question. Excuse me. Moving on to our next hot topic. Excuse me. Yeah, I have to do it, y'all. I have to do it. Michael Jackson movie. I have to be honest with my review of the Michael Jackson movie. I give this movie, from a scale of 1 to 10, I give the Michael Jackson movie a 4 out of 10. Me personally. I seen y'all speak about it earlier in the chat. Y'all was going in on the Michael Jackson movie earlier in the chat. From what I see. Now, there's been mixed reviews on the Michael Jackson movie. Now, I will say this. Go see the Michael Jackson movie if you haven't seen it yet. Form your own opinion. Me personally, I give this a solid 4. A solid 4. Here's my good with the Michael Jackson movie. Jafar Jackson. He looked like Michael Jackson, and at times it was scary how much he really looked like Michael Jackson. He got majority of the mannerisms. He danced like him a little bit. Nobody could be Mike when it comes to dancing, but he caught some of those moves. Coleman Domingo or Coleman Dominguez, I'm not sure which one it is, playing his father, Joseph Jackson. Performance was good. It was good. Was it outstanding? No. It was good. He would tell you it was good. It wasn't outstanding. Reason being, the direction was ass. It was ass. He also, they did a great job with his makeup. He also looked like Joe Jackson. He looked like him. He got his mannerisms. But something was missing, yo. Something was missing. And I know what it was missing. And I'm going to make it to a bigger point when it comes to what's the missing part. But he was also a bright spot of the movie. Jafar was a bright spot of the movie. That was it. That was it. Everybody else was a miss. Yes. I got nothing but love and respect for Lorenz Tate. One of my favorites, been one of my favorites since the 90s. He's been in all the poppin' movies growing up as a kid, right? He was in 21 Jump Street. He was in Family Matters. I rock with Lorenz Tate. But I didn't like him to play Berry Gordy. To me, he didn't embody Berry Gordy. I didn't feel Berry Gordy, him playing it. Is he a terrific actor? Yes, he's going to continue to be a terrific actor after this. But his direction was terrible. Meaning that the director was directing him wrong. Because I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel Berry Gordy. The brothers, the casting on who they played the brothers, they look like the brothers, right? Somebody looked like Jackie, somebody was looking like Randy, and somebody was looking like Marlon. But they didn't give them any lines, bro. Like, how do you have a Michael Jackson movie and my brothers don't have any lines? I don't care what part of the time that you show Michael Jackson. There is no part of time in Michael Jackson's life where his brothers is not important, where his brothers are not big in his life. So why would you not have lines for the brothers? And I know why. I know why they didn't have a lot of lines for the brothers as well too. But outside of the look, they didn't have no lines. Now, the young kid that played Michael Jackson can act. And he looked like he can sing. I don't know if that was his real voice, but he can act and he could move a little bit. But I didn't feel little Michael Jackson. I didn't feel it. It was I'm being very careful when I say that because I'm not in the spirit of breaking kids' spirit. Because he is a good actor. He can sing, he could dance, he could move. But I didn't feel little Michael, man. I didn't feel it. I have to be honest. And I don't think he looked like him either. My personal opinion. Now to why I knew this movie was going to be very lackluster. Nia Long playing Catherine. Miss Catherine. Miss Jackson. Mrs. Jackson. But it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. She had two emotions the whole movie. Two. Now, mind you, some people are going to say, oh, well, they didn't give her a lot to do. Man, I told you, she's not that type of actress to have that type of role. She's never had that type of role. She's always had the cute girl that's dating the guy, and, you know, we could see that and we could believe that. But she's never had the role with so many complex layers on a character like a Mrs. Jackson in a situation like that. When we look at the American Dream, and we look at Angela Bassett performance, the layers that Angela Bassett put on that role was super duper pivotal. And mind y'all, when it comes to shooting movies, people have less scenes on purpose. When somebody's cooking in a movie, people do rewrites while they doing the movie. Like, yo, this person is cooking. We need to write more scenes and put them in the movie more. When somebody ain't cooking like that, they cut their scenes in the movie. They do that on purpose. It's called editing. And like, yeah, that scene wasn't hitting, dog. So those were the bright in bad spots of the movie. Another reason why it was a 4 to me, they had a scene where their performance scenes, it was very, like, it was incomplete. Like, where was the care in this movie? So the performance scenes, as Jafar Jackson is performing as his uncle, it was certain moves that he caught flat out, and it looked good. It was like, oh snap, yeah, we see Michael, baby. And then the other moves that he didn't catch so well, why are y'all not editing that stuff out? Nobody can move like Mike, but if you could catch something, keep that. And the other stuff that he didn't catch, edit that shit out. Like, what are y'all keeping that in the movie for? Why? And then on top of that, every performance scene looked the same. It looked AI generated. It looked like the same crowd. And the crowd in itself didn't give me the energy as if they was watching Michael Jackson. The direction was terrible in this movie. When you linger on a Michael Jackson performance, if you want the crowd to feel a Michael Jackson performance, you have to show this man standing very still while he's on stage doing absolutely nothing, while the crowd goes absolutely berserk. People falling out. They did show that in the movie, people falling out, right? But you have to show the why they're falling out. It was so rushed. It was so rushed, and a part of the reason why it was so rushed and felt rushed is because they was jumping into scenes. It was no cohesiveness. It was no flow. So when you jumping into scenes and you have no cohesiveness, you have no real story. Michael Jackson's driver had more lines than Nia Long and the brothers in the movie. And then the movie is also super duper lazy because anytime the movie was supposed to take a space where why this moment is important, they went back to the same person who was the bad guy in the movie, demonizing his father, showing no redeeming qualities of this man. And in real life, we know the story. We know he had a tumultuous relationship with his father. So did his other brothers. But look where the tumultuous relationship come from. They're mad because the father wants to keep them together. Most kids don't understand the intention versus the lesson that he teaches them. In real life, they did have their battles, but they were still a family. You could fire your father as your manager, but you can't fire your father from being your father. He was still there. He was still present. So much to the point where Michael Jackson still had this man around him at Neverlands. Bought his father a whole boat for his birthday. So the fact that he had no redeeming qualities in this movie did not show the complexity of the father's why on why he pushed Michael and his brother so hard, which made it more important in the American Dream movie. In the American Dream movie, they was way more heavy-handed than this movie with his father. Way more heavy-handed. He was whooping ass. But they showed his why. They showed how they ended up where they ended up. And trying to keep the family together and raising men. And believe it or not, y'all, I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret. If you was born in the 50s, like Michael Jackson was, 60s, kids got their ass whooped. They had to go outside, take a branch off the tree, bring it in the crib, and get that ass whooped. Why? Because all kids have to have a healthy fear of their parent, and back then, that's how they chose to do it. So when people say, oh, nah, that's wrong, it don't matter if you think it's wrong, bro. Did you know that Michael Jackson, him and his brothers have been making over $109,000 ever since Michael Jackson was 9 years old? Off of a little ass whooping? They keep him off the streets, keep him away from drugs, and growing up too fast? Oh, what a bad father. Oh, working in the steel mill. Oh, what a bad father, keeping his family together in his damn 600 square feet house, but keeping his family together. Oh, what a bad father. There was no duality in the story when it came to Joe Jackson. No redeeming qualities at all. Not showing his why. And why his why is important because Michael Jackson is built off of his family. Even though he was the most talented, he had a personal relationship with all of them, and they all put that love and energy into him, with him being outstanding on top of that. Dualities matter. And then they show the mother and the father basically being adversaries instead of being husband and wife. She never divorced this man, even though she wanted to divorce him a couple times later on in their marriage, but she still loved him. There's dualities into relationships. You have the good years and the bad years, the good moments and the bad moments. You don't sit up there and have, how many kids the Jacksons got? Like 10 kids? You got 10 kids with somebody you don't like, your adversary, your enemy? Come on, let's keep this all the way real. So the movie was a 4. They never sat in anything, and they never talked about anything important. Now, some people are going to say, oh, yeah, they cut it off at this particular point in the movie. So what? There's a whole bunch of important things that happened in that time period outside of the albums. In that same time period, did y'all know that Michael Jackson bought the Beatles catalog and several big name artist catalogs? Did you know that? Did you know that it was a problem that he owned those catalogs and wouldn't sell it back? Did you know that? Did you notice all this kids, the allegation of kids didn't happen until these companies could not give Michael Jackson a number to give up said catalog? So there's a lot of places and spaces that they miss. There's a movie called The Wiz that was pretty big back in the day, which also helped catapult Michael Jackson into another stratosphere of fame. He was already famous, but y'all know what I mean. Now that you're an adult, and if you've seen Michael Jackson's performance in The Wiz, he was outstanding. Didn't touch on that. Now, some people say, well, they cut out Diana Ross. I wonder why. I wonder why she wouldn't sign on. I wonder why Janet wouldn't sign on. Why Rebe wouldn't sign on. And mind you, when they did the brothers, they never announced the brothers. They never say, oh, this is Jackie, this is Jermaine, they didn't even really do that. We just assumed that was that. And it was one of the other brothers that didn't sign on to this movie. Because this movie don't propel Michael Jackson's legacy. It is what it is. It's going to stay right there. It's going to stay right there. I didn't feel Ray. I didn't feel What's Love Got to Do with It. I didn't feel Compton or NWA. I didn't feel upper echelon, top tier biopic music movie. And this one was a layup. You got Michael Jackson and his catalog and his nephew that happens to look just like him. This is a layup. And this is what we get? Dude, I wonder why people didn't want to sign on. I wonder why people say, yo, anything that have to do with me, cut me out. Don't even mention me. I see why. And I see why it jumped from place to place, and the movie was lacking heart. It was lacking heart. And they didn't show the why. It showed Michael Jackson wanting, but they didn't show the why. And there was so many layers that they could have tackled using Michael Jackson as the entertainer and his story. How to overcome lack of confidence in self, even though you know everybody else sees one thing and you see another, and how to deal with that. They could have tackled even the child allegations. They could have tackled that, even though they saying that the time before that time, that's the reason why they don't want to do that. The reason why that's important is because you and he or his family get a chance to tell the story based on facts and legitimizing the fact that these people was wrong for even making the mention that he would do something like that. That's why that's important. Now, some people may say, well, by mentioning it is legitimizing it. How can you not legitimize it when it's public record that they try to come after this man? That's public record. So you have to legitimize the fact that this is what they was trying to do. The media was ran by the record companies that wasn't jacking the fact that he wasn't trying to sell the catalog. So now you have the media turning his father into a bad guy, Michael Jackson into a bad guy, and they didn't show that in the movie. They just showed how bad the dad was and all these mean things that he did, but they had a chance to show how they perceived Michael Jackson as a bad guy, but to us and the rest of the world, we loved him because of his talent. So the movie dropped the fucking ball. So I don't want to hear nobody coming up to me or, hey Ash, nah, bro. I don't want to hear that. If you like the movie, cool. Like the movie. But this is the reason why it's a 4. Because they could have tackled things that really mattered in Michael Jackson's world. And they didn't. They glossed over it. It's like window shopping. It's like, yeah, you see this nice ass shirt and jacket, right? You see it, right? But yeah, you can't afford it. You can't buy that. Get up out of here. And they had a chance to do that. And they didn't. So that's why I gave it a 4, in my opinion. And it just lacked so much heart. It lacked a real storyline. And we learned nothing. And again, the performances was decent. And I already highlighted why it was decent. The performances could have been better if the direction was better, if they would have hit some of the things that Jafar didn't hit as far as the dancing moves. They could have just edited that out. And the moves that he did hit, they could have put more of an emphasis on the moves that he did hit. Because nobody going to hit Michael straight off, right? And all the scenes look the same in the performance. It's the same theater. It's the same place. Michael Jackson performed everywhere. And they made every performance look the same. I'm giving it a 4. Go see it. Go watch it. Go support it. It's still Michael Jackson. They still have some cool ass scenes in the movie. I love the Beat It scene with he brought the Bloods and the Crips together. I love that scene. I love the scenes where they brought Bubbles home. I love that because that showed a different level of Michael Jackson and everybody's reaction to what he had going on. I love that. It was a whole lot that was said without being said between the dad and Michael Jackson in that moment. But that wasn't enough of the duality that we needed. So I'm giving it a 4. Go see it. If you like it, hey, like it. If you love it, shit, love it. Go crazy. Watch it again. I will never watch that again. Me personally. Wasn't a good movie. Michael Jackson is Michael fucking Jackson. There's no reason why. And let me say this to y'all. Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson. If the movie was 4 hours or 4.5 hours, guess what? People would have sat there for 4.5 hours and watched the Michael Jackson movie if you're going to get it right, if you're going to include everything. They would have done that. Or better yet, why it's Michael Jackson. He has the catalog. And it's easy because his music was so great. Why not turn it into a 12-episode series done by HBO where they could show everything? And you could do it based on facts. You don't have to make up a scene to show stuff that didn't happen or what we think happened. Go based on the facts. 12 episodes, people would sign up for that. If people watch a 10 episode Michael Jordan, The Last Dance of the last year with the Chicago Bulls, we would have sat there for 12 episodes and Michael Jackson's whole career. The movie should have picked up where the American Dream left off as far as the timeline. So that in itself is also a major cop-out. Even the stuff that they show with MTV and MTV not showing artists from the culture, the brothers and the sisters, they could have dove way deeper into that. Because back in the day when MTV started, they ain't show no brothers on there. Who video? Oh, MC who? MC Hammer? Yeah, nah, out of here. Out of here. Nah, we don't do that over here. Billy Ocean. Yeah, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Nah, we don't play no videos, man. What? And Michael Jackson was able to get his music video played on MTV. Michael Jackson was so popping that his videos no longer premiered on MTV. They premiered on primetime television, dog. They premiered before or after the Sunday night basketball game. Do you know how primetime you got to be to have your music video come on before or after primetime NBA game? And these are like playoff years, championship years. Remember the Time. The Way You Make Me Feel. Black or White. It's so many videos that premiered on Fox or premiered on ABC. Whatever that basketball channel was, it was on that. Go by the facts. So I gave it a 4. Go see it. Go support it. Form your own opinion. Your opinion might not agree with mine, but that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. He's our biggest artist ever. And this is what we come up with. 3-hour mid-movie. When you have a person like Michael Jackson, everybody should be walking out the movie like, oh my God, what did I just see? What did I just see? It should feel like Ray on 10,000. It should feel like James Brown on 10,000. Chadwick Boseman performance. Jamie Foxx performance. It should feel like that, bro. It should feel like that. And it didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like that. And again, I give Jafar credit because this is his first movie that he's done. And he did do a decent job. He did do a decent job. I'm not saying he didn't. But it needed more time. It needed more heart. You had to sit in certain scenes longer. That's where I'm at with it, y'all. Shout out to the chat. Y'all be going in on the chat. Shout out to the chat. My dog, who that? Oh, shout out to Paul. Appreciate Paul in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Yes, knew that. Knew all of that. Shout out to my dog Paul in the building. Shout out to my dog Biggs in the building. You're my dog, also aka Messiah. Shout out to my dog Biggs. Remember, y'all, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. Shout out to my dog Fam in the building. What up with my people? We in the building. Appreciate Fam in the building. You already know the business. Shout out to Roman in the building. Duality. Appreciate my dog in the building. Fam, the Michael Jackson movie, give it a 2. I won't watch it again because it was a waste of time. Can't get back. Yeah, I wasn't jacking it either, bro. Yeah, man. And it's disappointing because I really wanted it to be outstanding. I wanted it to be outstanding. And then you had the Off the Wall album. People don't understand how fire Off the Wall is. And they didn't lay in that shit. They didn't lay in that shit. Even the Quincy Jones character, he didn't embody Quincy Jones, bro. No disrespect. And I've seen that guy play in several other things. He can act. But I didn't feel Quincy Jones, bro. The direction was terrible. And I'm not saying none of these actors can hit their mark. the direction played a part in their performance. I didn't feel it, but the point that I'm making, they just left out so much, even in between him being in the Jackson 5 or in the Jacksons, and then him, bridging to do his own thing. It wasn't a good movie. So in the chat, I'm saying y'all giving this a 2. I gave it a 4. Shout out to my dog. Well, shout out to Marie in the building. American Dream was way better. Yes, absolutely. I said that before. The American Dream, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 9.5. And the only reason why I don't give it a 10 is because I don't know who casted the older version of Jermaine in that movie, but his acting, bro. Oh my God. Bro, it was a rough one. It was a rough one for your boy. But if he was better, that movie's a 10 out of 10. That's the only reason. Matter of fact, I give it a 9.8. I give that movie a 9.8. And the only reason why I'm giving it a 9.8 because the older version of the character, Jermaine, it wasn't hitting. He looked like Jermaine, but it wasn't hitting. Like, it's just like, bro. But everybody else, popping. All the Michael Jacksons could sing, dance, and they made you feel something. The father in that movie, you seen the duality, you seen the layers, you seen how the complexity of his character. They showed his why. They showed his why. He just not in here just whooping ass. He whooping ass with a purpose. They showed the mother, Angela Bassett, she bodied American Dream, showing why she loved the father through all of it. And she wasn't a victim herself. She wanted those tours just as bad as he did. American Dream is undefeated. It's undefeated. If you know, you know. Y'all need to go watch American Dreams when y'all get a chance to. The Jackson movie. Fire movie. It's a fire movie. And then they had Holly Robinson Peete play Diana Ross. She bodied it. She bodied it. She's fine. She could sing. And she embodied Diana Ross. She bodied it. Dog. Again, you have people that did not sign off for a reason. This shit is incomplete. Could it have been a fire movie? Yeah, it could have been a 10 out of 10. Could have been. But it wasn't. We're going by what it is, baby. We're going by what it is. Shout out to Fam. Off the Wall is my favorite Michael Jackson album. Off the Wall is a fire album. It's one of my favorites, though. I'll say Off the Wall is in my top 5. Off the Wall is popping too. Off the Wall got joints you can play right now, and it start the party, dog. Off the Wall is fire, but it's in my top 5. I ain't gonna hold you. I like Dangerous. I like Beat It. Especially those 2 albums in itself, because it was hip hop driven. Mike used to be cheating when it came to the music. You know what Michael Jackson used to do? He used to use hip hop, like sing R&B on it, right? He used to sing R&B, hip hop beats, and because of his subject matter, it was popular. That motherfucker was cheating. He was a genius. He used hip hop beats, R&B vocals, and his writing was popular. He was cheating. That's a winning formula every single time, and he could dance. Now, Michael Jackson's the GOAT, bro. He's the GOAT. One of my favorite artists of all time, for a fact. One of my absolute favorite. But definitely Beat It, Dangerous. I got Thriller, and then I got Off the Wall, me personally. But if your favorite album is Off the Wall, it's a fire album. You can't argue against Off the Wall. And they didn't lay it off the wall long enough. He had way more hits on Off the Wall that they gave credit to in the movie, yo. Lay in that shit. People want to feel it. There's people out there mad people out there that think Off the Wall is his absolute best album. Lay in that shit. I came here to have a good time. Y'all skipping like what? We ain't finished with this. Y'all skipping this. All right, y'all. I've also got signed merch for you for the New Edition, Boys to Men, Tony Braxton. I'll email it to you. Appreciate that. Shout out to Maria, man. Appreciate Maria, man. Doing her big one, man. Appreciate Maria. Fam, yeah, so I got that one. So again, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. If they're first time tapping in, Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast? I am Ashley Lovechild. Moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Rap. President Donald Trump and VP Mike Pence rushed off stage after shots rang out and fired at the White House dinner. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, President Donald Trump and VP Mike Pence rushed off stage after shots ringing out at the White House dinner. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I would love to know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, man, yo, I ain't never seen a president that got so much damn drama and drive-bys in all my life. Like, wasn't there a whole situation while he was running and he got like shot in the ear or the neck or the shoulder, something, right? And then it was something somewhere else, and now you got this at the White House dinner where shots just rang off. And this is DC. My family from DC. Like, yo, like this was going on. This is what we allow. This is what you paid for. Secret Service, like, how do you even let that get like in that energy? Like, with all the technology, you got the president in the building. There's 1,000 Secret Service there. How do anybody get a shot off, or even in the vicinity? How do that happen? So I've never seen a president with so much beef in these streets. Now, mind you, our president do move like a gangster. I ain't gonna hold you. Believe it or not, all countries are ran by gangsters. The USA, I mean, we haven't had our country ran by a gangster in a long time. Trump, when he talking to these people, hey man, get on page, or we make the call. So the fact that he kind of had it coming back his way, somebody got to get fired. You Secret Service, your job is to be of service and to keep me protected. And with all their technology, all their blue checks, or all their ways of security, it's not effective. If shots could get ranged out near the president and the damn VP. I wish this was a turkey moment, but this is crazy. So I've just never seen anything like that regarding our presidents. So that's crazy to me. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Shout out to the chat. Off the Wall, Beat It, Thriller, and Dangerous. Those some fire albums, man. Was Beat It an album? I thought it was Thriller. You mean Thriller? Are you talking about the song? You talking about the song? Those are the top songs, right? Yeah, because Beat It wasn't an album, right? Thriller was the album, and Beat It was on Thriller, right? But you're probably talking about songs. Maria, Secret Service was slow as hell getting Trump. Y'all seen the video? Y'all seen the video? Like it took them like a good 10 seconds to even form the turtle shell around Donald Trump to get him up out of there, right? It just looked crazy. They got Pence up out of there real quick. They just grabbed him by the shoulders and threw him up out the way. Pence like, whoa, why, but I don't know if Donald Trump had gas or something like that. Maybe he had the bubble guts, and that's why they didn't move as fast as they wanted to. but it took him a good minute to get him up out of there. And if you watch the video, I almost died laughing only because there was a lady that was trying to seek cover. Now, she should have just got behind got down. You know what I'm saying? You get down, under the table. She thought she was a part of we gotta protect her crew. They put the shell around Donald Trump, and she like trying to make her way in the shell, and they like, bitch, if you don't get your ass up out of here. Like, she thought she was, and then she had to make her way, like, get real small and low. Yeah, you ain't the priority, ma'am. No, you better get low. And she thought she was going to make her way in there. It was kind of funny, though. I ain't going to hold you. I watched it like 30 times in a row. USA is ran by a piece of candy corn. That's what Trump looks like, candy corn. He may look like candy corn, but he's a damn gangster, I tell you that much. Gangster tactics, gangster policies. That's just what it is. Regardless of what he looked like. That is pretty funny, though. She said he looked like candy corn. Shout out to fam. Donald Trump get a contract on. Donald Trump got a contract on his head. Man, I tell you one thing. I've just never seen a president with so much beef coming back his way. And see, you the president, dog. There's no way that Secret Service is lacking. The fact that we're saying Donald Trump, the fact that we're saying president, Secret Service is probably tapped in right now. Like, what they really saying over there, right? Y'all lacking, dog. Shots should not be aimed at the president, dog. Like, that's what we saying. That's what we saying. They probably watching right now. I kid y'all not. Don't y'all know if y'all say anything about the president or the current president on your phone, the Secret Service can tap into your phone call? Yeah. Yeah, it's real. And it's been like that for a while. So, and then you wonder why strange things start happening. Like, yo, I done had this issue before. Like, why I got an issue with this? Hey, man. They send people to, hey, focus on this and not the president, dog. I'm just telling y'all what I know. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Rap. The former Michigan assistant, Paige Shaver, speaks out against her former employee and lover, former Michigan head coach, the former Michigan coach, Sharon Moore. She spoke out and said that she felt she had to maintain the relationship in order to keep her job. Again, I would love to know what y'all think about that in the chat. I would love to know what y'all think about that in the chat. Sharon Moore only went through this is because he did not do a good job as the Michigan coach. He didn't do a terrible job. The job that he did at Michigan, most other school, I would say 90% of other schools, 95% of other schools would have promoted him. First year at Michigan, it was kind of rough, but we finished 8-5. And if you know Michigan, that's not a successful season, but we beat Ohio State and we beat Alabama in the bowl game. Most other schools, they would have had a whole celebration. At Michigan, 8-5, yeah, we beat Ohio State, yeah, we beat Bama, that's cool, but that's not enough. The very next year, went 9-4. That's not enough. That's not good enough, bro. So they could have just fired the man. They could have just fired the man. And mind you, my favorite team is Michigan. Y'all know I'm a Michigan man through and through. But could have just fired the man. They knew that this was going on. They knew this. But yet and still, they waited for the right time to strike because guess what? He got fired and he got charged within hours of each other. So they knew. They knew this was going to happen. And they knew about the situation between the young lady and him. Now, Miss Shaver, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. They already threw your claims out of court. So there was a police officer or the police department that omitted information that would show that Sharon Moore was not harassing her. He was communicating with somebody that he had a relationship with, but harassing, that wasn't the case. Now, she ended up getting pregnant. Now, there was some things and conversations among them regarding the pregnancy. But for her to feel like she was in a situation and she felt like she had to do these things to keep her job, she's full of shit. She's using this to get a bag. They couldn't get a bag from the original case. Now they're trying to get a bag from this particular portion of Michigan. Now they're trying to hold Michigan accountable for everything. When, in her own admission, there has to be accountability. You enter the relationship with a man on your own accountability. Part of the reason because you're attracted to him or was attracted to him, and you was attracted to the power. Now that things get tricky and situations happen, whatever, who wanted to break up with who, because mind you, he's married, he had more to lose. The only reason why he lost his job, y'all, is because he didn't do a great job, and he knew that you couldn't mess with your assistant as the Michigan coach. So he takes accountability on that part. But the accountability that she has to take on top of that, a judge saw this case criminally and threw it out because of lack of evidence showing that he was abusive, he was threatening, he was strong-arming, he was harassing. Threw it out. So if they threw it out on that aspect, how in the hell are you trying to get money on the back end from the school based on what? Based on what? Self-accountability that you chose? Even though he's wrong, you're wrong too. He didn't hold a gun to your head and was taking it. No, you was a willing participant. What are we talking about? And if you watch the interview that she had, she was talking very slow. And it's a tactic to do that so that way you don't trip up on your words. Talking very slow, making sure she say the right thing every single time. Yeah, we not buying it. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here. She trying to pull a lick. Yeah, we see the play. She ain't getting nothing. They gonna throw that out too. And she tried to go on these big interviews. I don't want to say the wrong platform, but a platform like a good day New York or something like that. I don't know if it was a good day New York. That's not what I'm saying. But a platform like that. It was a platform styling like that, and trying to say all these different things. Hey man, we see the tea leaves, dog. We see the tea leaves. Pack her up. Get her out of here. We not jacking that at all. At all. Shout out to the chat. Y'all going in on the chat. What's that? She's trying to get paid. I see Wednesday night. Go blue. Love that. Shout out to Maria, man. Shout out to Maria. Hit them 100s and hit them hearts, man. Appreciate Maria tapping in, man. Appreciate Maria. But yeah, I call bullshit on what she was talking about. If the judge called bullshit, I'm gonna call bullshit too. And once you say that it was a police officer or officers that was omitting details that showed that he was not doing the things that she alleged and trying to double back, dog, get out of here, man. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Rap. It has been confirmed that Ashley Gonzalez is no longer a police officer with Houston PD. That is great news. Love it. And if you don't know, if you haven't heard, I covered a story last episode where a former officer, or officer at the time, Ashley Gonzalez, had a whole racist rant on Instagram Live or on her Facebook Live in her close friends group. And she was saying all type of niggas and all type of chimps and I hate. The very next, brother or sister I come in contact with, and y'all know what I mean by brother, I mean by the culture, right? Or sister. They going to jail. They did that. In her close friends group on social media. So even in her close friends group, she's a racist idiot. And now it went viral, super viral, so much to the point that the culture in itself was like, yo, we not gonna have this, man. Ain't no way she can police with those type of principles and thought process out on the job. And she's a former Marine. So can you imagine the people that she was around that actually think like this? There's no way she's the only one. But she's the only one stupid enough to speak up on it. So I'm glad for the fact that she spoke up on it because she revealed herself. Thank you. And have a nice day. Bye. So I'm glad she revealed herself. Because you imagine people that can mask that type of energy and they're policing with that type of energy? Oh, that's not new. That's been happening all this time, Ash. Yeah, but that doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it okay for people to police with those type of prejudice. That's like being a doctor. That's like being a lawyer. There's no way you could be a doctor and somebody come in sick like, yeah, I don't treat the brothers. I don't treat the sisters. They're impervious to pain. They're not in real pain like that. There's no way. You can't police like that. You can't have the mentality like that. Especially police and criminology. Majority of the people that's arrested and in jail are white folks. So if she is policing brothers hard and not white folks, then she could have possibly lost her life just based on her own prejudice. Like, what are we talking about? So yeah, she had to go, man. Now, a part of her getting fired, because they was actually talking about basically retiring her or basically her being able to leave with some sort of pension or something like that. And they got wind and it's like, yo, that won't fly at all. You need to get her up out of here. Because now, and the bigger reason why they got her up out of there fast is because now we wanted to request her body cam. Now we want to request all her arrest records. They don't want to do that. No. No. Yeah, you're arrested. You're fired, man. This is cool. Don't worry. We'll send your stuff to your house. Because now if people demand that of her, they may demand that of other officers in the same department, in the same location. And it could go down a slippery slope. They don't want to do that in Houston. And I've been to Houston. I had a good time in Houston. Didn't feel that type of energy in Houston. Houston, people would consider a brother town or a sister town, right? It's a whole lot of brothers, a whole lot of sisters living their best life. Can you imagine at a place like Houston that's the energy with these idiot cops that think and move like that? Now, like, let's keep it real. We all have had some sort of previous prejudice or thought process on what people would be based on what other people tell you. But once you are a part of subgenres and you actually interact with people, guess what? You no longer see their prejudice. You treat them as individuals. As you become a teenager, you see individuals. When you're a little kid, all you see is individuals. And there's a small part when you're a preteen, you start seeing all the things that the world is talking about with race. And when you're a teenager, you form your own thought process if you're around different race. I played football all my life. I played basketball all my life. I boxed in the beginning before anything else. So that means I was around a subgenre and subcultures, which is sports, which is music. That's a subculture. And guess what? I seen people for as individuals instead of a prejudice, and they see me the same way. I got people who happen to be my friend that happen to be white. And if you say anything negative about me around them, they will knock your head off. Treat people as individuals. Stop treating people as a race of people that you don't know everybody. Everybody doesn't represent everybody. We're humans. We're a human race. We got good and all. We got bad and all. So to police with that type of prejudice, dog, like, what are we doing? And to be dumb enough to say that in any aspect, thank you for being stupid, because stupid people get stupid prizes, even in your own close friends group. Somebody in your close friends group is not jacking it. Obviously, they leaked it. So Ashley Gonzalez is no longer a police officer patrolling the streets in the city of Houston. No longer. And the scary part is, she's not the only one that think that way. Who's her circle? Do her circle police that way? And this is why she was fired. Because now we want to see body cam. Because she was so proud of what she described in a moment where she chased somebody down and grabbed them by the hair and calling them nigga, yeah, nigga, all this, that, and third. And mind you, I can say nigga with impunity on all platforms, but let me say the G word. Y'all know the G word, right? Let me say that. Let me say the F word. Y'all know the F word. Let me say that. Oh. I don't know why in our culture, just in today's world, why people are so fixated on the culture. What we say and what we don't say. What we do or what we don't do. There's good in all and there's bad in all. And do you. So I'm glad that she got fired. I'm glad that she got fired. She don't deserve to police nothing. Nothing. She shouldn't be a cop in no other city in Texas. She shouldn't be a cop in no other state, anywhere. She shouldn't even be a security guard. And like I said before, all of that negative energy that she had before is because she didn't like herself. It's all projection. Hurt people hurt people. She don't like the way she look. She don't like the way she is. That's all projection. To spew that type of negative hate and energy into the world, you don't like your life. So shout out to Ashley Gonzalez for being a dumbass, being stupid. Stupid people get stupid prizes. And guess what? You lost your job. Shout out to you. Shout out to my dog fam. Houston had to fire her because it got ugly out there. It was going to get ugly. It was. And I don't mean from a violent standpoint where you have Mexicans versus the Brothas, right? And this is why it's very important for you to speak out against foolishness. And when I said that last episode, when I look on my TikTok, when I looked on my YouTube, there were several Mexican Americans or just Mexican people that live in the U.S. that spoke out against her. Like, yo, she don't represent nothing over here at all. And I said that specifically before. If you don't rock with her, then you need to speak up. Just like any other subgenre or any other culture. When somebody do something wrong, y'all need to speak up against that shit. When police officers do wrong, then there need to be other police officers saying like, yo, we don't jack that. That's not what we do. That's not our job. And then being a police officer is one of the difficult jobs that you can have. That's a difficult job. So you need to speak up against that. When it comes to the brothers and sisters, we got no problem speaking against each other at all. When somebody does some shit that we don't like, yo, we have no problem getting on the internet and saying, yo, that's not a representation of us at all. We have no problem saying that. So we need to see that from every other community if you don't jack what they do. Because if you don't say nothing, then you jack it. So that's just from here on out. So when I said that last episode, it was quite funny that the energy made other Mexican people speak up against her and her actions. I even see police officers speak out against her and the things that she said. I've seen a few cops. So that's what we have to be at in this day and age. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to Will in the building. How are you doing, bro? Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Hit them likes, hit the 100s to help with the growth of the show. I'm doing amazing. I feel amazing. Appreciate you tapping in, man. Shout out to Finn. People jobs was on the line. It would have took more police officers. See, you see what I'm saying? I just made mention of that because it was going to get deep. It was going to get deep. It was going to go down a slippery slope. Yo, she can't be the only one that think like that. She hasn't been on the force long enough to think like that, and now she feel comfortable saying that. And then when she finished her rant, she like, oh my God, I've been wanting to say this for so long. I feel so much weight is lifted on my shoulder. That is crazy. That is crazy. You don't see brothers speaking out against no other community like that. But damn, the visceral hate coming from where? Like, I just don't understand and get it. I don't get it. And mind you, this is probably a person that loved Michael Jackson, that loved us in the culture, that go to sporting events, that listen to the music, that try to dress like us, yo, come on, man. Like, this is nasty. So it was going to get nasty for sure, because there's no way she's the only one that think like that. We want to see body cam of all her arrests. We want to see it. We want to see the civilian complaints. We want to see that too. And who was the officer with her when that happened? And what did he say while this was going on? It was going to get deep. So for a fact, that was a big reason why they fired her fast. Fast. The video dropped Thursday. She gone Sunday. Gone. No pension, no nothing. And that's even scary that she was a Marine before that. Yeah. Nothing where she could be in a place of power. She don't deserve none of that. She doesn't deserve no job where it has a place of power, because we see the type of energy that she has. And then they try to say, oh, she's taking sensitivity training, so it's cool. Nah, it ain't cool. Nah, it ain't cool, bro. It ain't cool. Get her, pack her up, get up out of here. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Rap. Oh, I wrote that twice. My bad. Albany State University professor have been placed on leave after audio of her berating a student. Berating a student that was trying to be a part of the sorority. She was like the big sister, or, not the big sister, but she's like, the person that runs the major sorority house. And she was like really digging into her, basically just really berating her is the perfect word from the audio. Some of the things that she said, that you need to come back to Jesus, and basically if you're going to pledge for Delta, you need to walk a certain path. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I would love to know what y'all think about this. And again, if this is your first time tapping in, I'm Ashley Lovechild. This is the Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. We talk about everything. So again, I would love to know what y'all think about this. Again, Albany State University professor have been placed on leave after an audio of her berating a student, saying things like it's time to come to Jesus, and pledging for Delta, you have to walk a certain path. Again, I would love to know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, this is nasty work. This is nasty work when you're an older person. And this matters what I'm about to say. When you're an older person and you have authority and you have a way with younger people, you are an authority figure. be an authority figure. Don't try to be the friend and be the authority figure. No, always be the authority figure. The way she spoke to this young lady wasn't an authority figure. She spoke as she's the boss, but she's speaking it as if as the young student was her peer. She's not your peer. She's not your peer. So be the authority figure. That's one. Secondly, when you're pledging and all of that, there has to be a sense of brotherhood and sisterhood, right? You have the men and the women. None of that was sisterhood, man. That's not keeping her accountable on what you said. That's not keeping her accountable. That's berating. And in that manner, doing it as if she was her friend opposed to the authority figure is why her ass is on leave. Power tripping. We got too many people out here. Once they get a little piece of power, they don't know how to act. What Craig say in Friday After Next? Why every time you get a little position of power, you got to overdo it. Right? You got people that overdo it. When you authority figure, especially in college, a part of your job is to uplift, is to help a young person realize their power in identifying themselves with the people that they relate with. There's accountability and there's berating. You was berating. Trying to say things that belittled her or to belittle her to do your will. That's berating. Nothing was holding her accountable. There was no type of measuring stick that say you were supposed to do this and this is what you need to do to uphold the standard. And when you have sororities and when you have fraternities, there's a standard. Being an authority figure and acting like her peer is not the standard. I wish I could send her ass to Turkey. So that's how I feel about that. Shout out to the chat. When you get power, they think they are bigger than the program. That's a fact, bro. You hit the nail right on the head, bro. Think they bigger than the program. At the end of the day, when people get up power, education is not end all be all when it comes to jobs and careers. When you have to work with people, you need experience working with people, not just doing the job. You have to learn how to talk to people in a place of stress, in a place of being uncomfortable. Not just you having the authority to make a decision, you dealing with people. And you have to learn how to deal with people as individuals. There's not one person that is the same. So when people do get power, they think they're bigger than the program. I love that. Shout out to the fan for that. They think they're bigger than the program. When dealing with people is a skill that has to be developed when you're working in certain positions. And if you don't have that skill, guess what? You should not get the position. Because if you talk to somebody the wrong way, guess what? We live in 2026. Dire things can happen. And this is not to say not to hold people accountable. No, you put belt to ass in holding people accountable, but there's a way of doing it. And everybody is different. Experience matters with dealing with people. So I wish I could send her ass to Turkey 10 times out of 10. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Will. He said, amen. That's a fact, bro. It's a fact. This is a fact. I've seen people on jobs, they know how to do their job, but when it comes to talking with people, working with people, terrible. And the only reason why they don't get their head knocked off is because they hold the position and that person values their check. But if they wasn't there at that position, at that job, at that place, they would get suplexed on the concrete. So People do a bad job by doing that. Shout out to Street and the Builder. Appreciate you for tapping in. As a minister, I've been guilty of that. I've been honest, and the Lord have to humble me. I appreciate the honesty. I appreciate the honesty. But see, here's the thing, right? I appreciate the honesty because you was forthright. You didn't have to say that, right? But as long as you learn from it, that's all that matters. And that's an individual thing. That's not just you. That's not just you. That's any and everybody. You can have the education. You can have the actual experience of doing the job. But learning people and how to communicate, that's something completely different. That's something completely different. And when you're in a position of power, that's why it matters. Quid pro quo. When people use that to get what they need out of people that they work with. Like, hey, I give you a raise if you stay a little longer. If you go over the books. Yeah, that matters. That matters. Psychology matters. I didn't realize why I needed to take psychology and sociology when I was in school. I didn't know why I needed that. I just took the class. Well, it seemed like a good class. Oh, it's interesting. Good talk. Good. Okay, look up the meanings, and I know that. But when you get into the real world, psychology works all the time, both good and bad. And learning how to use it and learning people, treating people as human beings. We are all flawed in some way or fashion. Ain't nobody here perfect. Nobody. But when you work a job and have position of power, honestly, I believe that most people should not get that job unless they have an experience on working with people. Having real management experience, working in low stress and high stress situations. No matter what your education rate, no matter your experience on doing the job, if you don't have experience with people, shouldn't have the position. Or you should get that in training. Just me personally. Shout out to y'all in the chat, man. I appreciate that. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. If this is your first time tapping in, I am Ashley Lovechild, and this is the Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. Learning individuals is a process in itself. 100% fact. I agree with that. I agree with that, Street. I agree with that. That's a process all in itself. Me personally, I learned people because out of high school, I had my daughter, right? I didn't go to school right away. And I had to get a job. I had to go into corporate. But said job, I had to learn people. I had to learn people. And I made major mistakes. I became a supervisor within this great job at 18 that I had. And one of my hard-working employees was messing up. And I thought it was standard that I talk to him crazy. And I talked to him crazy. And he responded, hey, man, I respect you. You don't have to talk to me like that. I don't appreciate that. I respect you too much to even return the energy. But I respect you so much, I'm going to tell you that I respect you instead of returning the energy. And at 18 years old, that blew my mind. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. So if I'm talking crazy, I'm expecting him to talk crazy. And we're about to, even in the office, we're about to take this towel off and take this jacket off, dog. But he taught me something in that moment. And he was an older man than me. And because I outperformed and because I know the job doesn't mean I was ready to manage people. See what I'm saying? So that is a process all in itself. And he taught me so much just by his response. And I never spoke to anybody like that ever again that I had to supervise, whether me owning the business or supervising the business in any capacity or platform. Dealing with people, I learned how to deal with people as individuals. Because it is a process based on what you just said. Facts. Facts. Shout out to Will. He said, the millionaire went undercover for 1 year to see how people treat the homeless people. I seen Undercover Boss. I used to watch Undercover Boss, and that show was very interesting. Just the premise of it, how people talk, how people move when they feel like you just quote unquote worker, because there's no such thing as just a quote unquote worker. You need people to help your business grow. But when they feel like when they know that you're the in facto boss, oh, button up, yes sir, no sir. And the funny thing is, I went from being my first name to being Mr. They put Mr. in front of my name by the time I was like 23. I became Mr. I'm looking for, like, that's my pops. My pops is Mr. I ain't Mr. yet. No, you Mr. now. Because I had to learn not just the experience, the education, but people. Even running my own businesses. Even in the music industry. You have to learn people. Shout out to Street. Also said, also it exposed what you that's isn't right. Show you what isn't right. Oh yeah, I'm from New York, so I know the energy. Yeah. I feel like being a worker. I feel like being a worker. Working is your character development while at work. I definitely understand that. I definitely respect that too. It's all mentality, but again, people is another skill outside of the actual work and outside of the actual education. So I feel like that has to be highlighted when people are in positions of power, when they make decisions, right? Especially when people money's on the line, when people livelihood is on the line. You have to really learn how to delegate yourself and treat people like human beings. For a fact. He said on job training. That's a fact. They do at most jobs now, they just hire people. They don't do on job training. They don't do that anymore. I remember when I was a kid, I know this is gonna sound real old, but when I was a kid, they used to have something called management in training. So it's like they training you to be the manager, but they giving you like the experience, right? But work experience and people experience is two different things. It's two different things. How you interact with people in a job setting or just anywhere, it sets the temperature of the success in that office, in that company, in that sector. It sets the temperature. If it's a competitive temperature, then guess what? Everybody's going to be trying to outperform each other. But if it's toxic, if it's disrespectful, then production is not going to be up. Every other day, somebody got to go speak to management training and the HR department. Like, hey, yo, y'all need to talk to this dude because, like, for real, I'm going to meet him in the parking lot and y'all going to find him on the floor in the hucklebuck. He going to end up in his own vomit, bro. So y'all better talk to him or he going to get rock bottom by his car. I'm having flashbacks, but don't judge me, y'all. All right. That was my former life. That's not something I champion. But again, people need people experience dealing with people in these positions of power. Again, hit them likes, y'all. Hit them 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 13. So again, continue to engage. This is the 258th episode. And again, we grow each and every episode. And thank you for showing love to the videos. I drop a video every single day. Moving on to our next. Oh, excuse me. No, we still got. Moving on to our next hot topic. NBA playoffs. NBA playoffs going on. As of right now, the Nuggets. The Timberwolves versus the Nuggets playoffs. Timberwolves is up 3-1. They played outstanding last night, going up. They may be without Dante DiVincenzo, and I hope they're not out with Ant-Man. DiVincenzo, it looked like he gonna be out because the way he sat there was like, yeah, it's over for the rest of the year, bro. Just come and get me. And I don't say that laughingly. It's just trying to bring light of the situation. I hope Ant-Man is not out because he's sensational on top of that. He's their best player. But he was out of the game towards the end of the game. But Timberwolves are still up 3-1. They lead in the series 3-1. The Knicks and the Hawks is 2-2. It's 2 games to 2. It's a great series going back and forth. I said it before. I know my Knicks fans is gonna hate this. I'm from Brooklyn, so what? I don't care. But the Nets, we're gonna win the championship before y'all, and we're rebuilding. And the reason why I said this before is because the Knicks is a terribly ran franchise. Ain't nobody gonna tell Cat, get your ass in the paint. Ain't nobody gonna tell Cat that. So y'all just rather let him play the way he play and lose. Cause y'all not gonna win unless he gets in the paint. He has to play in the paint. Terribly ran franchise, I'm telling you. And they have the type of talent in this year's NBA. Dog, they should be front runners. But they not. They struggling with the Atlanta Hawks. I guarantee you that most of y'all don't even know who's in Atlanta Hawks starting five. And they struggling with that group. Next series, the Suns versus the Thunder. Thunder is up 3-0. That's going to end in a sweep. Like nobody expect the Suns to pose no real threat to the Thunder. I just got to be honest. Cancun holiday. I hope they plan their vacation already. I hope they plan themselves into wherever they gonna go around the world. French Riviera. Something real nice. But Cancun vacation on 3 for the Suns. Magic's and the Pistons series, I believe, is 2-1. And the Magic's is up. The Magic is up. And you know what's crazy about the Magic? Their seeding is very misrepresented because they had injuries throughout the year. And they're a better team than what people give them credit for. I think, they up 2-1, but the Pistons got their hands full. This is going to be a battle. This series will go to Game 7. I live in Orlando now, so I hope that Orlando pull it out. But this has been a great series so far. Moving on to the Lakers and Rockets. The Lakers, surprisingly, is beating the Rockets and up 3-0 right now, which is crazy. Now, I said this before. When I make my sports takes, it's in the minority, right? So when I say things, people are like, oh, no, you don't know basketball. Oh, you don't know sports. I said when the Rockets got Kevin Durant, it was going to be Cancun vacation after the first round. I said this. I said this on this platform. The day that the Houston Rockets got KD, I said it don't change anything because it didn't change the structure of their team. They just got a guy that could get a bucket when he wants to get a bucket. But they don't have a legit point guard. Defensively, it's all over the place because the perimeter is going to fail if you have Sengun, KD, Parker on the court at the same time. The perimeter defense is going to be lacking. And in this NBA is a perimeter scoring lead. Thompson could defend, but he's not a great scorer. He's more of a defender, get to the basket kind of guy, a couple assists here and there. That's what he does. But they don't have a true point guard. Even if was still healthy, I still don't give him the edge on winning. So I said it was going to be Cancun holiday, and people was furious with me. I even said this on my Instagram. Shout out to Ryan Hollins, ex-NBA player, and he's also the anchor man for the Houston Rockets. He had posted, hey, we just got Kevin Durant. I said it's going to be Cancun holiday first round. And the comments was like, hey, Ash, you don't know basketball, bro. What you talking about? KD's a whole legend. It's not necessarily about KD. They're not built to make a long run because KD is not playing with a guy that could get his own bucket. And he's not playing with a guy that can help him create a bucket. So because of that, they're not going to make a deep run. And look at it. They down 3-0. So Cancun holiday on 3. The Celtics and 76ers. Celtics is up 2-1 in that series. I think I said that already if I didn't say that. But watch out for the 76ers. The 76ers is a fire, good young team. Love their backcourt. If they would trade Joel Embiid for a shooter, a young shooter, a legit shooter, a 3-and-D guy, if they was to do that, the 76ers is going to be cooking moving forward. I guarantee it. Their young backcourt, Maxey, Edgecombe, oh, they give you buckets. Bro, they get you buckets. Whenever they want it, how you want it. Saltine, fried, fricassee, all that. Baked, you get cooked out there. They could get their own bucket and they could shoot. So if they could play with a guy that plays the wing, who can shoot and can play defense, they're going to be cooking legitly. But they have to trade Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is a part of the old energy. It's a part of the old energy. Embiid is a great player. He's one of the best bigs we've ever seen, especially when healthy. But it's time. You got young energy leading that team. So you need to trade him while you can and get another young piece while you can. And instead of getting a big, you can get that in the draft. But you need a young shooter who's also a defender as well to play with that that backcourt. And if they do that, they're going to be cooking with grease. And shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to Will. He said, hell yeah. Shout out to Econ. Hello, how are you? Appreciate you for tapping in, Econ. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show, man. Appreciate y'all for showing major loves. Shout out to Street. So how do you personally deal with stubborn individuals that are prideful? Shout out to Street regarding that question. How do I deal with So how do I deal with stubborn people, stubborn individuals that are prideful? I learned a long time ago because I had a back and forth with somebody who was very prideful and very stubborn. And guess what I realized in that conversation, in that back and forth? I look stubborn and I look prideful also. I learned to say what I say, mean what I say, and just leave it alone. Because guess what? They heard you. They heard you. So to go back and forth with it, they heard you already. That's what I learned. It's enough for me to say something one time. That's what I learned. Because now when we going back and forth, they prideful, they stubborn. Now because I'm going back and forth, guess what I look? Prideful, stubborn. That's what I learned. I remember I argued with somebody for damn near 3 hours in the studio about absolutely nothing. I realized it was absolutely nothing. I said, you know what? I'm the one tripping. I'm arguing with a fool. Guess what that make me? A fool. I learned not to argue. I learned to say what I say, mean what I say, one time. That's how I deal with it. Going back to the NBA playoffs, Spurs up on the Trailblazers 3-1. They won today 114-93. Wemby was back out there doing what Wemby does. The Cavaliers lost to the Raptors today, so that series is now tied 2-2. They lost 93-89. So those are some good games. And I think, hold on, let me go to the Lakers series real quick, because there could have been an update regarding that. Yeah, it could be. They could have got swept. I think they played tonight. No, so the Lakers lost 115-96. So that series with the Rockets is actually 3-1. Lakers up 3-1. It's going to be a gentleman's sweep. They're going to win the next game. So they up 3-1. And I believe though the other game was Celtics that I did mention. So the Celtics is also up 3-1 as well too. They won today 128-76. My goodness. Excuse me, to 96. 128-96. Excuse me. The Celtics won that game. So the playoffs have been great so far, and I hope to continue to get great basketball. I like seeing the young guys with the young energy continue to develop, because this is where guys really develop when they're young like that. Again, we talk about Maxie and VJ Edgecombe, but I love seeing these teams make their strides and really developing in the playoffs. So I'm going to continue to watch these playoffs. This has been a pretty entertaining playoffs thus far. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment, my Keep the Lie Live. So my Keep the Lie Live for this episode is, don't let your ambition skew your truth. Don't let your ambition skew your truth or the truth. And the reason why I say that is because people will compromise their ambition and their goals and won't tell the truth based on their ambition and goals. So for example, if you're an actor and you watch a movie and the movie's not good, you'll come out and say, hey, you did your thing, the movie was good, and you're saying that because your ambition is to be in a movie like that one day. It's to work with that producer, it's to work with that director, to work with that writer, to work with that production company or that production house. Don't let your ambition skew the truth or skew your truth. And that goes into everyday life. That goes into everyday business. Don't let your ambition skew the truth. The truth is always going to be the truth. There always have to be a space for you to be honest. Based on logic, not based on feelings. Based on logic. Based on things that's actually happening. And for you to still have ambition with or without the same type of lane that you have in that thought process to and for. Do not let your ambition skew the truth. I said before that the truth always matters, right? Yes. When it comes to history, the truth always matters. But when it comes to as individuals, after a while, the truth no longer matters because people are more engaged into how they feel opposed to what is real. Two different dualities. So again, do not let your ambition skew the truth. And that's my Keep the Lie Live for this episode. And I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. Again, you can reach me on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild. Just the Kenna Brothers Get a Rap podcast, episode 258. And I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. And again, look out for those videos I drop daily. Continue to engage. I've been checking out your comments. I've been answering the comments as well, showing love and likes to the comments. So again, I appreciate the engagement as well. Also, make sure y'all take advantage of those memberships. Whole bunch of things come with those memberships, so make sure y'all take advantage of it. Again, we're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 13, so continue to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that all notification bell. I do pop up throughout the week. Also, be on the lookout for the next episode of... It's a lot going on in my head right now. But be on the lookout for the next episode of Red Zone Rhythm, which is just sports, just football. Actually, it's just football, not just sports, but it's just football that we're going to be dropping episode 2 live. So be on the lookout for that as well on this channel. We just covered the draft, the NFL draft, first round, and we're going to talk more football talk coming up in the next episode of Red Zone Rhythm and the benefits, winners, and losers of the 2026 NFL Draft. So again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. And remember, y'all, do not be a stain. Do not try to stand out for being negative. Have the ability to stand out by being positive. Show that love. Lose that Willie Lynch mindset. Lose that it can only be one mindset. The only op we recognize over here is opportunity. Hate has a location. It's just not here. I want to thank the sponsors of the show, which is Button Snaps. We get to find us some movies, shows, and documentaries. I also want to thank OUV Records. You see it in the back. Be on the lookout for that new OUV Records app where the music is coming directly to y'all as the public and from the artists, because Spotify and iTunes don't treat us right. So, hey, we're going to find a way to give y'all better quality music and directly. So, continue to support and show major love. Trust me. it goes a long way. And I feel like I'm missing something else. I feel like I'm missing something else. Again, y'all, much love. I love y'all all, man. Hit them likes, hit the 100s on your way out. Again, it helps with the growth of the show. And yeah, man, thank y'all for tuning in, tapping into Sunday's episode. I'm going to see y'all this Wednesday. We're on every Sunday, every Wednesday, every Sunday, every Wednesday at 10:30 for Ken and Brothers Get It Right podcast. And y'all already know, man, it's love. And I'm going to see y'all this Wednesday at 10:30. I'm out.